Favorite photo? Last time on the long-distance Dungeons & Dragons dinner theater. Alec, Karlock, and Spider Morrigan snooped around Northport, mostly by hanging out at the bar, and made fast friends with some drunk youngsters that eventually led them to a secret hatch outside of town that led to the Demon's Knot Caverns. After a restless night at the Snallygaster Inn, they headed back to the secret entrance to the caverns and fought their way through a path previously marked by Morrigan into an abandoned underground hall, by a great stroke of luck, into an abandoned bar, where they were confronted by a very beautiful elven woman, who offered them an opportunity if they would just wait in Silhouette's Tavern or the cavern below. And now, long-distance Dungeons & Dragons dinner theater continues. Yeah, Aristophanes has told you he's going by the name Jed, and has met with you guys in the middle of the desert, and you're now headed back to the town of Telorix. I'll need someone to roll a survival check to find your way out of this desert.
Yeah, my survival was survival. I mean, I'll try rolling it. I've got it. I'll roll it. I only have 14. I got a 17 plus wisdom. I got a 19. 20.
Alright, so you guys working together, I'll say that you're able to lead everyone out of the desert. So we'll say that Ramses and Jed / Aristophanes are leading the way out of the desert, south. I'll assume with rolls like that, you guys can find south. That's pretty easy to do. Towards the town of Telorix, which you see from where you are now. You see the tall walls that surround the city of Telorix. So you guys are in the distance, but you do see it from where you are. Continue to head towards it, I assume.
Yes. I got a question. Where's Harriet?
Harriet's following along. She's climbed back up on Pleek. She's still small, I believe. But it's following...
This had Harriet taken out.
She took it out of the sack, but I think it clambered back up to Pleek, and now is just riding with Pleek on the whatever donkey or camel you guys have.
Yeah, that's my camel.
Yeah, so wherever Pleek is, I assume just Harriet's just kind of hanging out for the ride. She'll follow she's pretty loyal to Pleek, so unless you guys are charming, her, it's going to follow Pleek wherever Pleek goes. It's not going to attack or anything unless you guys do something malicious. But it's just right now like hanging out on top of Pleek's body.
I believe Will still has Frodrick guarding Pleek on the camel, so they'll be on the camel together with Pleek, over the back of the camel, still tied up fully.
When you reach the gate of Telorix, there are guards there, and they inform you there's now a $200 gate tax per person to enter, which will include all your NPC friends, of course.
Can we roll diplomacy, maybe to try and get it dropped a little bit, since how much is it? 200 a person. That's a little steep.
Can I appraise it? Like, I can't really appraise it. That's, I guess,
Like how much is worth it to the city? You can try that if you want, but you're in a desert and inside there's a city, so I don't know if you like... They apparently feel like it's worth 200 gold to get into the city from outside of the desert, so...
How big are the walls?
They're really tall. What's that?
Can I do a knowledge history to see if there's historically been entrance taxes?
Yeah.
And maybe, if so, why they would have an entrance tax? Oh, that could be. But that's every time. It's a 2 plus 2, so 4. So yeah, I don't remember.
You don't really remember if they had a tax before. I mean, I feel like when you guys left before, there wasn't a tax, but you would also know the laws changed here a lot. So, I mean, the guards are not. This is a very lawful community, so the guards aren't ones to lie, but they're not making this up. You don't think? Like if they say there's a 200 gold tax, then they're for real.
I will inform groups. It's Kalmar, from Kalmar. They're very lawful.
They're big on taxes. Taxes. They have a tax festival every year, so this is kind of like normal there. Fees are very normal in Telorix.
I'll pay you 200.
Well, everybody down to 200, or what do we do?
Well, once we pay the 200, then we still have to go and get a vote.
Yeah, we still
Or
have
is because the police people are there waiting on us supposedly, but that won't start out well.
No, yeah. The 10 drow are still in Telorix.
I'm not gonna pay it. I'm gonna be like, okay, whatever.
What are you gonna do? Like just walk in?
Well, I'm not gonna walk in on it. I'm just not gonna go in.
You're gonna stay outside.
We'd
Got
also
it.
have to pay for Liz and for Fleet
And
for
Kit.
and for
Frodrick.
Frodrick.
Correct.
And for Osk. Because Osk is asleep, I guess, too.
Yeah, unless you wanna.
How far away is the closest continent?
I mean, you can check your world map if you want, but you guys are in the southeastern seas. The closest continent's probably Demon's Knot, which is just north of here.
Yeah. Either that or East Lenia. They're about equidistant.
Yeah.
So probably 600 miles away, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more. Depending on currents and trade winds, things like that. Hurricanes. Tornadoes.
Well, what do we want to do, guys?
Well, maybe we should hold on and just go get a price.
I think, yeah.
We're stuck on this island, so we figure something out.
Well, there's, I mean, it seems on the low so that nobody else here. There's got to be another way.
I don't suppose Longa left the ship that took us over here in the first place.
Yeah, you would think that after it dropped you off that it left. It didn't like stick around. There was like some blinding light guild members on it, and they were on their way somewhere else. And they were like dropping you off on their way somewhere.
All right. Well, I guess we can try to get in contact with Harlock and Alec, see what shit they're up to.
Do you have a brace? Yeah, let's do that.
You want to brace it up?
Yeah, see.
What channel are you on? Is your channel on and open, or theirs on and open?
No. Yeah. Or 11. Well, I think it's 11. Because now...
As long as you didn't turn it off. I mean, if both of you guys... Here's the thing. If both of you guys' channels are on and open, that means that they probably already heard everything that was going on anytime you were in an area of bright light in the past however long they've had it on. But you guys were in the dark for a while, so they probably didn't hear a whole lot while you were in the maze, but... They probably heard everything that's happened since you walked outside if that channel's open on both your bracers and on. Remember, if you leave it on, it's basically like having an open communicator, so if you're talking out loud, they'll come out loud on their arms. So you're going to fuck up stealth for them and things like that unless you turn them off.
Man, that's something you really should.
But as long as they're on, then they can talk to you at any time and you'll be ready to receive it. Which, like, right now is very handy. Because if they left it on all this time and you say something out loud right now, they'll hear it.
I don't know which channel we were on last. I don't know if it was just Alec or Ortega. Ortega lost her bracers, so that's why. Yeah. That's why we're on the main one all the time. Right. Because the only other one we have is our secret. Yeah. So we have no reason to be on that. All right. Cool. Then we got 11 to decide that we get contact on it, see what they're up to.
All right.
Planning. And they're just hammered drunk, don't even receive the goddamn thing. Yeah.
Alright, so roll a perception to see if you hear this message that Cersei's trying to send you.
22.
That's good enough to hear a message. So you guys are hanging out in the city of Southport, and you're in the bar, I assume. That's the only way you're probably gonna have enough light for this to happen. So you guys, this is before you went downstairs. This is like right after Longa left, and you guys were like, "Let's go downstairs and surprise everyone." And just as soon as you guys thought, "Let's go downstairs and surprise everyone," you hear a voice coming in, like just peeking in to your receiver as you guys happen to pass a band of light coming through one of the very few windows in this tavern, because there are very few windows in this tavern. You're in a pretty dark part of a very bright town. But you're able to pick up at least most of what Cersei says right now. So say whatever you want, Cersei, and if they want to respond, they may.
Cersei calling Alec. Over. Alec here. Alright. He took out Fleet, touched the crystal. I don't know if we'd already built in on all of that or not, but that happened. Got him tied up now. Trying to figure out what to do with him. Her. Thank you.
She's a gnome, so it's hard to tell. They all look like little boys, but...
Alright, well, that's intense. Yeah. Now we're kind of stuck on Keldar, so we don't really know what to do. You guys should do what we do, just hang out in the bar and drink. Yeah, they don't drink here. Oh. You can only have 2 drinks. I look at Harlan.
They have a 2-drink maximum.
Yeah, 2-drink maximum, and then you breathe fire after you breathe fire. Yeah. Well, I guess I'll, what do you guys want to come here and hang out? Or? Yeah, we're planning on bringing Fleet to Southport for a judgment. We got a meeting with this Longa lady this evening. I know Longa. Oh, yeah, you guys should. We're supposed to be meeting some people here tonight. Okay. You guys want to... You can name drop me once you I'm pretty good with her right now. You know,
me. We're supposed to be meeting something later tonight. That'd be you.
Alright. Okay, so how much is it going to cost per person to go over to get on the boat?
Well, you have to get into Telorix first. That's the only place there's a
Right.
port.
So there's 200.
200 to get in, and then probably, I mean, the going rate, the past couple times you guys travel is probably like 1,500 per person to 3,000, depending on who's got the ship. And so somewhere in that range, 1,500 to 3,000 is probably what you know it will cost you based on previous experience.
Close. I don't know what to do.
We should go to the city.
Ship travel's
Yeah,
very
that's
expensive, which is why it's nice to have a teleporter ring set up, because then you can just travel anywhere you want for free, but...
We do still have the teleporter ring, but that would take us somewhere that I don't think we would want to go.
You would probably notice that most of the guards here are well armed with some sort of firearms like Morgan used to carry. So most of them are carrying pistols.
The law and stuff.
Can I roll a diplomacy to see if we can get, like, a discount on them being so many of us?
Yeah, you can try.
And versus 6 wives. That was a natural 19 to 39.
And I got, I'd say I got a 18, 7 plus 11.
Alright, here's what they'll do. They say the law is the law. They say that law has just been enacted. So since there's so many of you and since you have such hot blue tits, they will drop it at 20 gold per person.
Yeah.
And pretend like they just misread the memo or something.
Alright, I'm gonna say thank you and give them a little wink and roll into town.
Alright.
Yeah.
We'll pay the 20 gold a person.
So that's 20 for me, 20 for Broderick.
And make sure you pay for all your people. I think Jacques will probably want to pay for... Jacques, you probably need to pay for Juan and Kit.
Yeah, I got you.
Cool. You can make them pay you back next time if you want, once they're awake.
And I'll pay for Oz.
That's very nice of you.
No, there's Oz.
Alright, I think Os owes Ramsey some money then, so you might as well tell him right now. As you guys enter the city of Telorix.
I'll pay for Fleet then since Oz just walked in.
Alright, and Os will pay for himself?
Yeah.
Alright, so all of you enter the city. The guards will stop and ask you who this is you have tied up.
I guess that looks suspicious, huh?
What's the meaning of this? Why is this young lady gnome all tied up?
I'm not opposed to telling them the truth. I'm here. I'm not opposed to telling them the truth. Yeah, I will tell them straight up. This lady tried to steal something from us that was equally shared by all members of our traveling party. And so we incapacitated him, and now we're taking him back to Southport for judgment.
They say, well, they would love to allow that, but you guys, are any of you guys deputized as bounties of the law? Are you able to take these kind of measures into your own hands? If not, you should have contacted a law official.
I was deputized in the town of Gafusser in order to track down 2 people in the desert.
Alright, they asked to see the bounty.
I don't know if they gave me anything written.
Alright, they say that if you wait here, they can go check in their the print shop and check the records and see what was printed up for that town.
Bad.
Are you willing to wait?
Yeah, I guess so.
Alright, they return with 2 wanted flyers, one for a...
At that time, but I walked away.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can start walking away if you want, but it's going to be suspicious that you're just walking away, but yeah. Since you just... I mean, you just paid to get into the town, but now you're going to walk right back out after you paid 20 gold to get in?
Did I pay?
Well, that's what, according to everyone else, yes, you did. That's the only way you could get in. I think Pat had agreed, Ramses had agreed to pay for you, but then when you showed up, I think he assumed you were going to pay for yourself and just paid for Pleeg instead.
Well, I mean, how about this? Would I, as a character logically think that I was being pursued, or would I not know that I was being pursued?
I mean, I don't know. You left that town in quite a hurry. I don't know if you thought about it whenever you left, that Morgan kidnapped a bunch of kids and, like...
Morgan, steal the children. You were way ahead.
You were way ahead of Morgan. You didn't see this stuff happen, but so you might not even know that you're in trouble.
Yeah, so I would just go into town if I didn't know I was in trouble. I'm not going to...
Alright. So you go into town. They return with these wanted flyers, one picturing an Aranci and one picturing what used to look like Morgan, the golem, the glass mechanical drow elf golem mesh, and instantly recognized you as one of the people in the flyers. They say, "Oh, you've tied up the wrong person."
What do you mean?
They say, "Well, you said that you were." That Cersei says she was on the bounty to track these two individuals, and obviously you're the one in the flyer, not this gnome.
On the flyer for what? I didn't do anything.
Well, you're wanted in questioning for a kidnapping and slaughter of several local children.
Can I see the posters?
You may. There are wanted posters for you and Morgan for kidnapping, for stealing of government property, including a library book.
Oh, library book? Also, this is a big misunderstanding. I know that this character, Morgan, did break some laws, but that Morgan died on a journey through a desert, and I beckoned her to stay in town, and she wouldn't listen to me.
I say, well, if you're willing to testify on that on your behalf on that account, then they're willing to, if you're willing to stay here for trial and deal with that and say that stuff under oath, under threat of perjury, then they're willing to. If you're willing to be held for that purpose, then that's fine. But if not, they're going to need to seriously question all of your friends because they're bringing in someone that they don't have a bounty for, that's being obviously held against their will, possibly kidnapping, and so they might want to talk, so they might be culpable in other crimes unless you're willing to go deal with this currently, I guess. And even then, they would probably still ask that they untie this gnome unless they have a reason, a lawful reason to have her tied up in their town.
She's evil, she's a thief. We're going to keep her tied up.
Alright, they say that's against the law to keep someone tied up against their will here in this town.
We'll kindly get on some ships and leave your town.
Alright, they say they can arrange for you guys to get out of town very quickly, but they will need to question you if you're going to be leaving town with someone tied up, basically. So you just have to answer some questions if you're going to be just heading straight to the docks with this person. Basic stuff. Who are you? Who is this? What reason do you have to hold this person?
Alright.
Which you've kind of already answered, but this is for official reasons. This is someone documenting it, writing it down while you say it.
And I really don't think that I did anything terribly illegal. Anything, yeah. I'll stay behind the question, that's fine.
Alright, you stay behind to be questioned. They take you...
As my friends can go, I'll stay and be questioned.
They say as long as they leave immediately, we can deport them right away after questioning. So yeah. But they'll take you to a cell and confiscate all of your belongings, including weapons, pack. What's that? Right. Well, yeah, I mean, you could assume this is a pretty lawful town. You don't think they're stealing from you or anything. They're agents of the law, so they're putting whatever you have in some sort of custody, and you'll get it back whenever you leave whatever they're holding you in. You don't get the sense, I mean, you can roll a sense whatever you want, but I think just generally you get the sense from Ramses that this is a very lawful place. They're not doing anything shady with your belongings. They're just confiscating your belongings because you're being imprisoned, and you can't be, in jail with a bunch of weapons and shit. Alright, so you're left with just your basic gear, whatever basic clothing you're wearing, no armor or anything, just clothing.
What about my brace?
No, they've taken your brace, or they've taken pretty much everything that would be able to make you, you don't get to walk into jail with a cell phone, you don't get to walk into jail with a bracer either. So no.
Let's put it up the back.
Yeah.
I can, guard.
Yeah. But you do have, this basic clothing and whatever, nothing fancy. And they will question you, and you'll be put on trial for whatever crimes you might have committed. Everyone else will be ushered quickly to the docks. You'll be given those really quick questions: who you are, where you're from, where you're going, why are you holding this person. Do you guys have good answers for all those questions?
Yeah, truthful ones.
All right, this person stole something from us.
I block check.
All right. Well, I mean, even the fact that you guys are seeking justice and you seem to think you're holding a criminal, they're a very lawful society, so they'll say that that's a good aim. And that while they think that since the crime is committed on their territory, they should be the ones to try it. I mean, I know Cersei's diplomacy is super high, so I'm going to assume that between all of you, you're able to convince them that you are supposed to be doing this somewhere else.
And I've also got really high diplomacy, so I probably could.
Yeah, what do you want to do with it?
We negotiated this whole thing that they're going to go with unscathed, and be questioned.
Yeah. So you're including that in that. I agree. So that's okay. So you stay behind. Everyone else goes.
No.
All right.
I'm stay behind as well.
You are?
Yeah. He has to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jed stays behind also, but you stay behind nonchalantly, right? You can kind of even whenever these people are questioned, you can kind of break off from the group because you don't even look like you're with them. You know, other than the fact you kind of came in at the same time. If you wanted to like play it off legit, you could probably wander off and do the assassin bit and go unnoticed. Is that what you would like?
Yes.
All right. So as soon as you guys walk into town, Aristophanes, as soon as he sees the guards questioning you guys, kind of goes off on his own and pretends like he was not part of this. And is still kind of hanging out in the city of Telorix. Oz is being held for questioning. The rest of you are in the docks. They are forcing you to board a ship right away. The cheapest ship to leave right now is 1,500 gold each. You'll need to pay for your allies to leave also, or they will be held, not in prison, but in a holding cell until something can be arranged, basically.
All right.
So 1,500 gold apiece.
Yeah, pretty much 3,000 out of my coffers. For me and Frederick.
4,500 out of Jocks.
Yeah, I can't pay for that.
Well, the only people that really need to go if we're trying to go to have him judged are either Tom or myself, one of us to go and come along.
I'm getting back with Aristophanes.
But I don't have 15.
Roll me a perception check. And then Aristophanes, roll me a stealth check.
Let me try and use some diplomacy and see if I can just get up very light and just getting all my money. But someone's got to pay for me.
Stealth check?
Yeah.
I got a 25.
Perception?
Yeah.
Alright. What form are you in right now, Jacques? Are you invisible, visible, what shape?
I've been visible. I've been a Mishkanian.
You're not Sean Connery still?
Oh, no.
You changed back to Vishkanya, got it.
I'm Sean Connery, actually.
Alright, I couldn't remember. Alright, got it. Are you Sean Connery from Zardoz or Sean Connery from like
No, I believe I said Sean Connery from Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, because it was for St. Patty's Day. That's right. All right, so that's how you look currently. So humanoid. You look like an old humanoid Scottish dude. Got it. So what was your stealth there, Aristophanes / Jed?
Yeah, you rolled 13. Sorry.
So all right, so yeah, then definitely Jacques notices you. I guess he's a kitsune also, and he's trained in the arts of stealth. So your stealth is not as good as his stealth, and so he definitely is able to follow you wherever it is you sneak off to whenever you evade the group. So Jacques follows you. What happens with Juan and Kit? I guess I still have to ask Jacques that because you're here and you're responsible for them.
Jacques just carrying two people.
Can I give Juan some money and be like, or she's unconscious, right?
Yeah, she's sleeping. So you can pay for her boat fare and take Kit, but you have to be able to afford at least one boat fare to do that.
I'll pay for a boat fare and take Kit.
All right, so you pay 1,500 gold and you take Kit with you.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give her 1,500 and be like, go with them. And I'm gonna.
You're gonna dip. All right. And Kit's gonna try and follow you too.
If they just don't decide to go on the boat, I can just get my money back.
Yeah. She'll still hold it for you. She's your sister. You didn't spend it on the boat. We'll just say you gave it to them and said if you guys... Let's say you give it to Cersei and say if you guys leave, this is for Juan. Take Juan with you. Because you're concerned with keeping her safe and you don't want her here and blah-blah-bloop. So you'll just give them money and say, if things go sour, you take Juan with you. And you and Kit will sneak off after Jed / Aristophanes. All right, the three of you at the dock. What's going on?
I guess we're going.
I mean, I don't have 1,500 gold. Let me try and we have to figure out something for Pleek. I'm gonna try diplomacy again and see if I can. Because all I have is 960 gold left.
Okay. Are you gonna offer all? Are you gonna try and offer everything you have and say this is all the gold I have? Let me on the ship.
I just need to get on that ship back, man.
All right, roll me a diplomacy with this is all the gold I have.
And I'm gonna say me and this tied up guy, we just need to get back, man.
All right, roll it.
That's gonna be a 23.
All right, they'll be convinced that if you can scrape together enough to pay for one of you, as long as you keep your tied up friend tied up and like on your back like a backpack, they'll consider her luggage. But you've got to cover. But you've got to pay at least for yourself. So you need another 500, 600 gold.
960 gold. So I am
540 short.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about this? Can I do a little diplomacy to word it as such? I'll be like, well, you know those bounties? I technically did bring this guy. So if you want to maybe throw my friend a bone here and help us get deported a little bit faster, you know, get out of your hair.
All right, roll me a diplomacy with that. I'm sure you're Cersei, so I'm sure it'll work. But roll it anyway because it's a game.
All right. Yeah.
Just tell me if it's a 1. Basically, I think that's all you got to do.
25.
Yeah, so that's super fine. They'll agree to that. They'll say, instead of paying you your fee, since you weren't technically a legal bounty, you were a 1-mission bounty, and since you sort of did bring this person in, they'll pay for the passage of you two fully, so whatever money you paid, you can get back. They'll pay the 3,000 gold for the two of you, so you get that back, whatever you did pay. So you guys get basically free passage with Pleek counted as luggage.
Alright, yeah.
And the 3 of you leave for Northport, or Southport.
Bye, guys. See you later.
Are you bringing Frederick or?
Yeah, Frederick, I'll pay for him. Okay.
Alright, pay for Frederick separately, but yeah, as long as Frederick's paid for, that was not included, but...
You still got a fair amount of
I
money.
guess Liz is with us then too, and Scott told her to.
Yeah, Scott. If Scott gave you the money and that was that, then yep, then Juwan's with you too.
Stay back.
So it's Juwan, Ramses, Cersei, and Frederick taking a boat to Southport
Alright.
with
Yep.
Pleek.
What's that, a month journey?
Yeah, probably. Well, it's less than that because it's pretty short actually. It's probably more like 3 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks.
Okay.
So not that long. Let's deal with some people that stayed in town now. All right, then we'll deal with Osk first then. So Osk is taken in for questioning, and you are questioned about.
See if I notice him getting like
Yeah,
escorted.
yeah, you can roll that.
I guess Austin does.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, but it's like 28.
28's enough to notice that Osk was taken by the fuzz.
Okay.
Some very well-armed guards escorted him away for questioning. You probably were going around because that was right when you walked away when that stuff was happening. Like that was the reason that Aristophanes / Jed walked away. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go up behind.
Oh, you're not act surprised. Like, where you supposed to come from?
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna kind of gesture with my head, like kind of like nod in the direction of Osk. No, like Osk is getting carried away. I'm gonna nod towards you. Be like, what's going on with our friend over there? Like, check out. That's cool.
What's your problem?
I know, but I don't want to talk about it. Just yeah.
Sorry,
So, roll a perception check to see if you see Oscar take away from you before you get that.
I think he's drawing attention to it. So I think you just need to do a sense motive to see if you get what Jacques is saying. Because Jacques is just doing this with a head motion. So do roll a sense motive to see if you get what Jacques trying to be like, let's follow Osk. Because he's not saying it out loud. He's just giving you emotion like, do you see that? Should we do something?
Natural 20.
Yeah, that's enough to, you're like, okay, I get it. Jacques is suggesting to you that, Osk is being taken away, maybe we should do something about it. With just the motion of his head. Just the way he's nodding at you, there's something that you can just read the emotion in it. He's like, that's our friend getting taken, should we do something?
Let's follow it. I say this on the low, discreetly,
Yeah,
let's follow it.
Yeah.
Alright, so they take him... Alright, you tail at a safe distance. They take him to the very large courthouse in the center of Telorix. It's probably the biggest building in all the city, made of a lot of the same red stone that's found in the local valleys, and wood. And there's a lot of different offices and courtrooms and stuff, and he seems to be taken into some sort of interrogation room. You guys follow at a safe distance, but they close the room, and you can't see when they take Osk inside of this room past the door anymore. But you're out basically in this grand hallway where a bunch of people are milling about, going to different offices, getting different licenses for things, paying their taxes and fees, and getting bounties, and there's a bunch of officers around, so a bunch of very well-armed guards in this area, since you're in the middle of a courthouse.
I got some things I want to do. if you're associated with me,
Let's go outside.
yeah, let's go
Take a walk.
outside.
You guys leave the courthouse?
Yeah.
Just outside, just so we're out of earshot of anybody.
Alright, so you can't be too close to the guards because the guards kind of around outside, but it's pretty decent sized city, but you can kind of wander around till you find a street that doesn't seem well populated. I'm gonna let you guys take a 20 on that. We'll say it takes like 15-20 minutes to find a spot that you guys think is well secluded. As a matter of fact, Aristophanes / Jed, I'm not sure which one to call you anymore, you do have a tattoo that lets you know if you're being watched, so if you tell Jacques to close his eyes or look away, you can check your tattoo and then you will know if anyone is around looking at you guys at least.
Alright, so I checked my tattoo.
You won't know if anyone can hear you, but you at least know if whether or not someone's watching you or not. So.
Right. So how wide is that little eye, I guess?
At this point, it seems to be pretty close. Whenever you look at it, like I said, I gave you time to kind of sneak away. So at this point, if you guys snuck on away to kind of an alley or a street where there's no people, at this point, if you look at your arm, you'll see that the eye is either closed or mostly closed. So you're either not being watched by anyone or no one's looking at you in particular.
Alright, I'm swing to this alley?
Yeah.
Alright, so, yeah,
Whisper it.
Whisper makes you speak up.
Yeah. Whisper it to me.
okay, so whispering it. So, dude, I have a back. Well, can I explain in my background?
Yeah, you can explain whatever you want, man. Go for it.
And all that, and blah, blah, blah. I joined an Assassin's Guild. And,
I've always wanted to do
You
that.
know your sister's a member, right?
yeah, Skyfox.
Yep, correct.
I'm gonna explain to you that they don't like me very much.
Maybe I won't mention your name next time I go back.
Let's keep the fact that you know me.
That is good to know.
Yeah, let's keep the fact that you know me.
I want to explain why they don't like you, but
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't they like you?
I'm kind of loud. I'll say that.
he's not discreet enough to be considered assassin yet. They were hoping he would learn how to be discreet and then maybe one day come back, but
Alright, well, I'm already in the guild. Do you want some practice?
Maybe.
alright.
Alright, so yeah, they don't like me, but maybe I can help you out.
Sure, alright, well,
What are you trying to do?
Maybe say, how about this, Jacques? You can say, maybe if I can help you out, you can vouch for me. So maybe you can prove that you can be, discreet.
Yeah, that's what I said.
yeah, well, yeah, if you help me complete this mission, then I'll just tell that to the Skyfox people. That should boost your status in their eyes.
How do you plan on going about this? I got boomsticks. I'm just kidding.
Oh, God.
You see, just explosives right away.
Oh, yeah, and I know why they want us, right? Yes, I do know that.
Yeah, because it was the same reason you were sent here.
Right.
You've already seen that wanted poster. You were supposed to be bringing Osk in. You probably should have just now cashed in to cover for yourself, but you didn't.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was supposed to bring them in, kind of, but that was just
A cover.
a cover. Yeah, I'm really here to kill someone else. I'm whispering to...
Yeah, you're in the alleyway. I assume no one else can hear it at this point. Unless I roll a natural 20 right now because you keep being afraid. No, I didn't, though.
What about doing it?
I don't know. I'm going to scope the place out. I don't want to just roll in and...
Okay, do you know what he looks like?
It's not any particular judge. It's just a judge. Says, my orders are to assassinate a judge of Tellerwarts.
Okay.
However, before we do this, I have to do a bunch of weird shit. What's with this puzzle, Brian?
I think you just have to roll a wisdom check a bunch of times until you get a high enough number.
Can he help me solve this? Like, can he take a try at it too?
Can I disable device on it?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, man. I don't care what you guys do.
I'm gonna disable device. 21.
Yeah, the box, you think you almost solve it, and you twist, it's like a Rubik's Cube, and you twist the ends around, and just when you think you have it, it springs back and pops you in the face and does 1d4 damage. If you roll that for me.
Oh. Just one.
Alright, a damage. It just pops you in the face. It's nothing big. It's a toy. It's like a toy. It seems like a child's toy, but apparently it was trickier than you thought it was. You thought you could just break it open.
Try it again.
Yeah, sure.
33.
Was that a disabled device again?
Yep.
Yeah, this time it pops and it almost hits you in the face, but you're able to dodge it. But it does basically the same thing. Like, it reacts whenever you fuck up, when you try to break it open. It seems tamper resistant.
Damn it.
Alright, can I try and solve it?
You may.
With, you say add a wisdom modifier?
Yep.
18.
Alright, you get pretty close to solving it. But you don't. You
Can
feel
I-
like you look at it and it's like one or two like colors off. Just like a Rubik's Cube, you've got most of it, but every time you move a couple cubes, you just fuck it up more. But you feel like you got really close.
Yeah, I'm gonna try wisdom as well.
Alright?
No, I didn't get it. It was like an 8.
Alright. So Jacques tries your puzzle box and he gets frustrated because he can't get any of the colors to match. When he does it, it just looks like shit. It's like all different colors on all different sides. He cannot solve a Rubik's Cube to save his life. He just messed it up. But now it looks like totally random again, which for you were having trouble when it was like almost all aligned, so you think this might be a good time to try it again. Now it's all like resorted into randomness again. Might be a good time to try and resort it.
But Jacques did wrong.
Yeah. Alright. I'll roll again for it.
Yeah, you can roll another wisdom.
14.
Alright, this time you don't get as far as you did last time. You get about half of it solved, but half of it doesn't match. Yeah, every time you roll, you're just basically spending an hour trying to solve it again, so yeah.
12.
Yeah, this time is worse than the time before.
Natural 20.
Hey! You finally, after 4 hours of working at this puzzle box, are able to solve it. Your pseudo-dragon kind of coos at you as the puzzle box unlocks, and there's a special treat inside, which the pseudo-dragon eats up very quickly. It seems to be some sort of like magic puzzle box that whenever you solve it, it gives like a special treat to the dragon, like its favorite little food, which it releases as some sort of like fairy. It's a very small fairy which the dragon eats very quickly. And it seems to like regenerate it whenever it closes, so every time you solve it, it gets a little treat. So it coos and it now likes you and will reveal to you its name, which is any name that you choose, really. It's the name it's always had, but you will just know it because it's a telepathic dragon. So whatever name pops into your head right now is the name of this dragon.
Billy.
Alright. It's Billy. Oh, Billy. Alright, so this is Billy. This was your father's pseudo-dragon, and now it is your pseudo-dragon. It has the compendium of knowledge, which is everything that your father probably knew because it read his mind his whole life. It followed him around a long time. You already know that your father was an assassin. This pseudo-dragon followed him on most of his missions and will follow in yours. It can be a great help. I believe I sent you the stats earlier, so you have everything you need to know about this dragon. It is now your cohort. You now have control of it. It'll do whatever you want. Like I said, it only speaks telepathy. Doesn't speak out loud, but can speak to you in your mind anytime you want. No one else can hear it but you. And you don't talk out loud. You whenever you speak to it, you just think it, and it hears your thoughts. So. And it always hears your thoughts as long as it's within range. So as long as it's near you, it hears whatever you're thinking. So if you like have it within like 300 feet or something like that, and you want to think something, it'll hear it. Just so you know.
Jeez. So can I ask you questions?
You may.
I ask him what judge of Lord what the Sky Fox clan most likely wants to be assassinated.
Alright, you ask him that in your mind. No one else hears this but you, because you just think it.
I'm staring at him like, what the fuck?
You just see your friend like thinking really hard. He says Judge Mesner, which you can say out loud after he says it to you in your brain if you want Jacques to hear it.
I'll let my partner know what just happened. It probably looks weird. It's pretty weird.
Yeah. What's he look like?
Does my dragon know what he looks like?
Your dragon does not know what he looks like. He just knows that was the most recent bounty for a judge on Telorix. And he will say that he knows the bounty is because this judge is a famous gunsmith. He was one of the first locals to he created gunsmithing, basically. He was one of the guys that invented guns. And the mob wants him killed because they want to steal his technology and like be able to make it for themselves. I mean, have it buying it from him. Basically everyone in the world right now that buys firearms buys the components from the island of Telorix, because there's a famous gunsmith here that creates all the components and doesn't share his ideas. It's not told anyone else the basic, like people can maintain their guns but they can't create them. he's the only guy that creates the parts and stuff like that. So they want to kill this guy and steal his secrets. So you would know from your dragon right now that they probably want to kill him, and they want you to find his plans. So you need to kill him and find the designs on how to create weapons, create gunsmithing items. That's the greater scheme.
You were with us when I was trying to talk all the paintings, or when I was at Sophie.
That's true.
So yeah, if you were there with Cersei when Cersei saw the paintings, you might remember from the paintings your real knowledge history that you saw one in a painting that with his name attached. So if you want to go back there, I mean, you only have to roll a 5 if you want to remember. If you want to remember more than going back there, you have to roll really high. But if you just want to roll a 5 to remember to go back there to look at the painting, you can do that.
Okay.
You're like, hey, what if we go back in the courthouse? And I'll even let you take a 5. I mean, that's auto. Yeah. So if you just want to be I think there were some paintings in the courthouse of all the judges. Maybe we can go look at the painting.
Yeah.
That was not one of the ones that Cersei stole, right? She stole Nagelrad or Reinhold.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. So that one still is hung up in the courthouse. So if you guys return back into the courthouse, just act like you guys are good at being nonchalant. You're assassins and ninjas and shit. So you can walk in there pretending to be normal people, and you walk past the painted portraits of these judges. They are sort of abstract. So it's not realistic looking paintings of these judges. So even though you see these paintings, you wouldn't know for sure you'd be able to notice them when you saw them. But you get a general idea of what they're like. The paintings seem to be more like commentaries on their personalities than it is a realistic vision of what they look like. But you can glean some information. You were looking for which judge in particular?
You said his name was
Mesner?
Mesner.
All right, so Judge Mesner in the painting seems to have very wispy white eyebrows. They seem very exaggerated in the painting. Seems to be wearing a wig, but all the judge paintings the judges seem to be wearing wigs in the painting. He's wearing a brown suit and a vest. Unlike all the other judges that are wearing brown robes, he's wearing a brown suit and vest. He seems very long and tall, kind of lanky. From the painting, it looked like he's over 6 foot tall. He seems the tallest of all the judges. It's the way that the painting is. He seems lanky and tall, and He does he is carrying a gun in the picture, in the portrait.
He would be.
Yeah, from what you understand, he's the guy that invented guns, so it seems like he always would have a gun on his person. And there seems to be, in the painting, something very strange. I need you guys to roll maybe a knowledge. Let me look and see what kind of knowledge this would be. Knowledge planes.
I don't have it either.
Oh, that's going to be what? Intelligence, though? So why don't you guys roll it and to see if when you get high enough, we might know something.
Yeah. There's 6.
19.
Alright, so you don't know anything, Aristophocles/Jed, but Jacques sees this, in the back of this painting, he sees something strange. And I'm going to say Jacques doesn't exactly know what it is, but it seems like behind this judge, at first you thought it was his shadow, but then if you look at the painting closer, it looks like a different, tall, humanoid, just like he is very tall and very lanky, with a very alien face, but with blue skin. And it seems to have more than 2 eyes, and it seems to have more than 5 fingers on each hand. So it seems to have too many fingers, too many eyes. And it seems like something out of this world is lurking behind him and whispering. It almost seems like it's whispering in his ear.
Okay.
I like that Sean Connery just went, whoa!
I mean, it's weird because it seems like a shadow, but if you look at the painting from a different angle and think about perspective, it seems not like his shadow, but instead something that's twice as tall as him. Instead of it could be a shadow dragging up behind him, or if you look at it a different way, it could be something that's twice as tall as him, talking to him.
Can I point it out to
Yeah, you can point out what you see in the painting. You can you're at a museum. You're I just look. You're giving your artistic opinion. But yeah, you definitely could mention the things you think are strange about this painting. And he can take that however he wants. He could think you're just some sort of art critic, or he could take it seriously.
Okay.
You can roll a sense motive if you want to know if you should take Jacques seriously or just be if you think he's an art critic.
Sense motive?
Yeah.
Got fucking Salvador Dali over here with realism.
20.
Yeah, you think that you actually whenever he says that, you take him seriously. You look at it that same. He does that. He points that out, and you look at it the same way, and you think maybe he's right. That maybe there's some kind of hidden message in this painting. It does seem like there's some sort of like ominous force, like delivering a secret message to this guy with a gun.
This dude is connected, man.
Can we study it for a moment?
Yeah, you guys can stand in this hallway and like look at the painting very seriously. Siobhan's gonna be so excited when she hears this episode. I'm gonna say that right now. As soon as I tell her you guys spent a long time staring at a piece of art, she's gonna be so excited. All right, so you guys stare at a piece of art for a while. What else are you guys trying to glean? I'll tell you what you need to know if you've been standing there. We'll take a 20 on it. What are you trying to figure out?
The nature of, have I seen any, I don't know, nature of what that could be.
The tall thing?
It looks alien.
It looks like it's from out of this world, so you would know that maybe even from this, since before you already rolled the knowledge planes, but now you would maybe even know that's what you would need to roll. So at this point, if you wanted to roll it again, and be like, that seems like something out of this world, let me think in my memory banks of things from out of this world that I've heard stories of. I'll let you roll it again at this point.
17.
Shock?
I rolled 6.
Not as good this time. All right, so this time actually it's Jed / Aristophanes who comes forward after you point out this irregularity in this painting. Says, this reminds me of something that he was raised by a druid, a bear in the woods, and this bear was very afraid of technology. It lived in the woods, was a very primitive bear, and it warned that there were mysterious creatures from other realms who would try to like peddle off items of great import or magical power or just things beyond our comprehension. Items that we had, the technology beyond our means. And they would sometimes visit the plains, and they were like it's a way of the druid looked at it as a way of poisoning the universe because it would like release technology before its time. And so Aristophanes would maybe think that this seems like, the thing in the background seems like one of those. It seems like he was whispering the secrets of how to make guns into this guy's ear. So we'll even say that maybe Aristophanes feels like this strange creature from some other plane gave this man the secret of how to make guns. Like, guns shouldn't be on this plane yet. Like, they're way beyond. Like, everyone else is walking around with swords and bows and arrows and shit, and these people have guns. So it's like technology beyond its time. It's way ahead of its time. And you think that it came from some unnatural source. That's what you've gleaned from your roll.
This doesn't sound like something I'd like.
Well, you would know that a lot of the Skyfox assassins use guns, so something has been adapted very quickly. You don't use one, I don't think, because you're not a gunslinger class. But it's definitely something that's been adapted. But maybe it's something that you would think is unpure. I think a lot of the Gorm's assassins do, because a lot of the Gorm's assassins, especially because that's what you trained under, are monks, and they believe in like killing with their bare hands and things like that. They believe in the purity of not using a weapon at all, much less a weapon like a gun, which robs you of the beauty of the kill. Like, at least with a knife or a bow, it takes some skill. They believe that guns are cheating. So you might also feel the same way. You might also feel like this guy brought in technology. He brought in the gun technology way before its time. So you might also feel the same way. He's cheating.
He's cheating. I don't like it. It's dishonorable.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We need to kill this guy.
Talk about the right now.
Oh yeah. Whispering.
Yeah, you're in the middle of the courthouse, so if you want to say that, you might want to leave. Do that.
Yeah,
But you can think that in your head.
let's go
make a game plan.
Yeah.
At the end.
So you guys stare at the art for a while, and you go try and find an inn?
Yeah.
Get me and Sloan.
Alright, they have they have a sign on their inn. There's a couple inns in town, but they're all kind of in the same district. And they have signs on the front that say, now verified secure. But you guys are welcome to book a night in one of these inns if you like.
Yeah.
So we walk in and ask how much for a room.
Yeah, they say rooms are only 5 gold a night. Very cheap for you guys. You guys would know that around the world, inns are usually twice that price at least. But they ask that all people that stay in their inns submit to a background check.
Oh. Look at this.
God.
So, you say, hold on for a second. Talk to your front line. Can't pass the background check.
Can I bluff check and be like, oh, I left my wallet. My coin purse.
Yeah, roll me a bluff check if you want to try to do that and then walk out. Yeah, that's a good enough bluff to like walk back out of the hotel. So now Aristophanes, you're left alone in the hotel as Jock just like walks out and pretends he doesn't have his wallet. You can roll a sense motive to know if you think he's faking or telling the truth about forgetting his wallet, but
Natural 20.
all right, yeah, you get the fact that he was like that was definitely a fake, and he was definitely just trying to get out of here really fast. You can follow his cue, or you can just do whatever you want to do. But you know that Jacques was like, as soon as they said background check, Jacques was like, I gotta leave.
No, you're right, Scott. Class center.
Yeah.
So I'll just go ahead and get a room real quick, and then I'll leave. I'll reserve a room for later.
You reserve a room for later. All right, 5 gold. They'll do a background check on you, which is basically similar to like a detect thoughts, and they will detect thoughts and basically just notice any recent misdeeds you might have committed. Have you committed any misdeeds recently?
No, nothing anybody would know of.
Have you killed anyone in the past couple months?
No.
All right, you're clear then.
Can I tell Kit I'll give Kit 5 gold and be like, find Aristophanes. And I kind of want to disappear in the crowd, put my ring on, and scale the building.
All right, take your damage. You want Kit to get you guys a room too, basically?
Yeah.
All right, so Kit also goes in. Kit will pass a background check. He doesn't anything shady. So Kit and Aristophanes / Jed have gotten a room for later, and you're kind of hanging out nearby invisibly. Take your 1d4 damage, but you're in the area.
Another 1 damage.
Very little damage. You're getting used to wearing this ring.
Can I grappling hook up onto the roof and find his room and climb in through the window? Sneak in.
Yeah, roll me a sneak or a stealth check. Yeah. Do you go up to your room there, Aristophanes?
Yes.
All right, you go up to your room. All right, you go up to your room. We'll assume that Kit gets a room next door. We'll just come into your room as well. It'll get his room and then like follow you into your room. But there'll be a room next door that you guys also have. Yeah, that's stealthy enough to sneak in the window.
I'm gonna find Aristophanes.
Are you still invisible to us?
Yeah, I can be like,
All right, you remove your ring once you're inside his room.
yeah.
All right, you're in his room and Kit is there with you.
Alright, so we should kill this guy. Go with that.
Yeah, I think we should scope out the courthouse, like get his schedule, figure out when he's coming, when he's leaving, and follow him.
Okay.
Just hang out and come
On the down low. Yeah. Subtly.
Yeah. And I can do that nifty little trick I did. Follow him more closely.
Okay.
You guys can be my lookout. You and Kit, don't fuck this up, Kit.
I mean, you can leave Kit behind in the room if you want, if you're worried he'll fuck it up.
What if you rotate so it's less?
I just want to hear Kit and Scott interact because Scott had to deal with Morty. Like, you've done that to Liz so long in the game, she had to deal with Morty.
Well, yeah, we can.
She took his voice. I'm sorry. She took him away from me. I can't do him anymore.
Plan where we kind of rotate around the courtyard throughout the day.
Yeah. Try and observe the schedule of the judge.
Yeah.
How long would that take, Brian? You know?
You could take a 20 on it. It would take you all day if you're just trying to observe a schedule of the judge. But you might notice there's a court schedule posted near the judge's movements outside of their court schedules are very hard to track. And they also seem very well guarded everywhere they go. I'll tell you to know that. But you do know whenever a judge is about to try a case. Because there's a schedule posted for that. And I will say Judge Messner is scheduled to try a case for your friend Osk in 2 days' time.
Oh boy. That's our time.
So, yeah, alright, so we know when he's going to be here. We want to maybe try and
Yeah, I can't.
subtly to...
What if we do this? Because
No.
Austin's getting tried. What if I sneak on the appearance? I can do that. Shapeshift. If I kill him, I find him not guilty. We all get the fuck out of town.
Love it.
That is perfect. Yes.
Where are you planning this at?
And we're whispering.
Oh, you're back in the inn? Okay, if you're in the inn, you're fine.
Good to have it. Started doing that.
Yeah. So. Yeah. What if we? All right. So what if we do this tomorrow morning? we sit outside the courthouse, we follow him to his house. At night, we kill him. Everyone in his house. And then I disguise myself as him. I go to the court hearings the next day. He doesn't even have to go. He doesn't leave his house because everyone's knowledge they can't have anything.
Yeah, my bounty's just for him. It'd probably be ideal if we
Kill him.
yeah, and then
And
try to
he's
minimize the collateral damage.
All right.
Negative consequences.
I'm gonna leave you guys there, planning stuff in your hotel room. I'm gonna go to Osk for a minute, who is being questioned on the incidents in Kafusar. Alright, they question you about the day you arrived in Kafusar, who you were traveling with.
I said that I was traveling with a person by the name of Morgan.
Alright, they'll basically ask for your full account of the day's events. Like, according to you, what happened?
I was on a mission to go into the desert to find an artifact, and I was told that I would find a map for said artifact in this school. And so I went to the school, and the substitute teacher who I was chatted with, and then my friend I honestly can't remember exactly what happened, but I think my friend convinced her.
Is that really true, or do I need to make you roll a bluff check?
No, that's honestly really true.
Alright, you really just don't remember what happened. Alright. I'll roll a sense motive, but if it's really low, then... Alright, he kind of seems suspicious of what you say, but, you know, he has no proof, so you can say whatever you want. It's your testimony, so...
Yeah, I mean, that's normal. I'm being...
Yeah. Yeah, you're allowed to lie. You're allowed to say whatever you want. I can't say that he trusts it, but yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, so, I can't remember exactly what happened, the circumstances, but I think Morgan got scooped by a child in the schoolyard and started with some trouble, and then somehow convinced the teacher to go away, and then that she was going to have custody of all these children. I really don't know how this happened. I just know that I went to the library looking for a book, and I found a book, and I come out, and the teacher's gone, and then my friend apparently is in charge of all these children, and I'm beckoning Morgan to try to stay because I have to go, and she insisted on following me. And then it was between leaving all the children or me not going on the mission, and I had to go on this mission.
All right, so the guard will ask, you admit to taking the book?
Yes.
And you admit to being an accomplice in taking the children?
No. That was not my decision.
Says, well, you didn't seem to stop your friend from doing it. And here on the island of Kelnar, if you participate in a crime and don't stop someone from committing it, then you're just as guilty.
Well, my friend was magically cursed to try to follow me, and I was doing the best that I could to convince him otherwise.
And say, couldn't your treasure hunt or whatever wait until after you made sure these children were safe? We have a group full of parents from Kafusar that want someone to be held accountable for what happened. You say your other friend already died, so we can't bring them to justice. That only leads you, I'm afraid.
I don't think that's fair, right? I'm more in the
well, we don't care about fair, we care about legal. And here it's totally legal for us to hold you because you did steal government property, and according to eyewitness testimony, you were an accomplice in the crime.
My possessions were confiscated, but I have it in my possession.
So they will go through your possessions and find the book, and they will say, here we go, evidence that you stole the book from the town of Kafusar.
Oh, we didn't write it. I'm going to roll...
They'll put that in their evidence locker.
No, that's not how this works, man.
What are you talking about? You're in a fucking courtroom. You just gave them evidence you stole a book. What do you want me to do with it? You can't be like, oh, that thing I stole, I give it back to you now. That means I didn't steal it. That's not how going to the police station works. You can't be like, oh, that pair of pants I stole, you can have that. They're like, oh, I guess you didn't steal it because you gave it to us. That's still stealing in their eyes. Like, you know. You took it from where you took it from where it's supposed to be, and it's not where it's supposed to. It was in your possession until they caught you. Like, you didn't, give it up freely. You didn't, turn it into the police station. You took it, and you're only turning it over because you're being held currently. Still a crime.
Well, I'm going to roll diplomacy to see if they can have some leniency and that I'm being completely straightforward and cooperative. They easily could could be sitting here and trying to stonewall them.
Yeah, you can roll a diplomacy for being cooperative. They can see if they can try to like add it to you and like be lenient. They'll tell the judge to be lenient on you or something.
Yeah, and then a 17 on diplomacy.
All right, that's sort of convincing. They say that they'll tell the judge to try to go out on you because technically, since you weren't really involved from your story, you were just sort of you didn't do the kidnapping. You just were with the guy that did it, and you didn't know that taking the book was a crime. And so they'll tell the judge all this stuff of what you said, but they have to hold you until your trial. Yeah, they'll take the book. They take the book and put it in evidence like they're supposed to. But they say they will include that in your testimony, and when it comes to trial, that'll be considered that you were that you cooperated fully.
Yeah, I mean, I really had nothing to do with that. They're dead.
What's that?
I really had nothing to do with the kidnapping of these children.
Yeah, they say they're sorry, but you were with the guy that did it, and until you still have to face trial. They say they'll tell the judge that.
But I think their law is based on logical fallacy.
Okay.
In that, if we're all in a city and someone steals something and they're a member of our community, then by your logic, then everyone is implicit because they didn't try to stop the person in the first place. And you could always just get a bigger microscope and try to find a way to convince someone that they really should have known better.
You just exposed the flaw in their system, man. You're blowing their minds. They say you should take that shit to court.
So technically,
you should definitely represent yourself. Don't even take a court appointed. They have a court appointed lawyer, but if you want to represent yourself, they totally think that you could.
Where's the teacher? The teacher was ultimately responsible and gave that responsibility up to someone that she had.
The teacher is supposed to be here on the court date. Also, she's assigned to be here. She was on vacation, but they brought her back from vacation. She had to cut her vacation short to come into court.
All her students were gone. She didn't have shit to do.
No, she went on vacation and left the students in the control of Morgan.
Well, she thought that was a substitute teacher because Morgan falsified her identity under,
Right, so Morgan falsifying her identity to a teacher is permissible.
No, that's also a crime, but they can't do anything about Morgan because you said Morgan got killed. They would love to punish Morgan, trust me, but you're the only thing left to punish right now, and there's a bunch of angry parents. It's more symbolic. Like, a bunch of kids died, and they can't punish the lady that did it, and you were with the lady, and so...
You can punish the lady who gave supervision of their children
Well, if you want to argue they should punish the teacher who gave them over to someone who said it was a substitute teacher and lied about who they were, you can do that. But wait till you're in court. You're arguing with the guy that's doing the interrogation right now, and he's just asking questions. He can't do anything about it.
I'm not very good at my job.
Yeah. It's like, I just ask questions, man. If you want to talk to the judge about, I can't let you out of jail. The guy asking questions right now can't let you out. That's all I'm saying. You can argue your case all you want, but this guy can't set you free.
I'm just chickless from
Shield. I mean, I recognize that this is a lawful society and everyone has their rules, but I'm just letting you know that I really should not be implied in this crime in any serious way.
Well, because of your really good diplomacy, the guard agrees with you and will even show up at your trial and vouch for you or whatever and say that you were very cooperative. So because of your diplomacy, he'll show up at your trial and be a character witness. You got something out of it, but you don't get out of jail right now.
That's fine.
Yeah, you can just get that. That's something. Take what you can get, I think. It's D&D.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
All right, cool. All right, and you get ready for your trial date. You end up in prison. It's a normal prison routine, except here they sort of like parade you around town, and people throw stuff at you. They someone with a bullhorn sort of announces your crime and says, this Aranzi is accused of aiding a kidnapper. They just say accused and alleged. They don't say that you're condemned of it, but they walk around town and accuse you and allege you of crimes, and the citizens throw fruit at you and stuff. What?
What about innocent until proven guilty? I mean, like the basis of law.
Look, they say, because of the way law works, they say alleged and accused. They don't say that you're guilty of anything yet. So what the citizens do to someone that they feel like might have committed a crime is on them. That's not on the law. The law just said that you are accused of a crime because someone threw a piece of fruit at you. That's,
Are we talking French Revolution?
Isn't that littering?
Well, yeah. They'll probably get a ticket for it, but they won't get arrested. They'll just probably have to pay a fine.
Or if
Somewhere in between the two, probably. But yeah, so they parade you through the city, and then during the day, whenever they're not parading through the city, they lock you up. But they don't have any sort of jail in the normal sense. They have what they call the box, which is like a mammoth prison. So it seems to be like half of what the courthouse is composed of are these prison cells, and they're like very small cells that are stacked on top of each other. So it's like a cell on top of a cell on top of a cell, like animal cages. But yeah, so whenever you're not being paraded around town waiting for your trial, you're kept in a very tiny, like, animal cage. So you're either caged or you're being humiliated until the day of your trial. So for 2 days, you're either in a cage or you're being humiliated. All right, Vortiga, Cersei, Frodrick, and Juan and Pleek are all on a boat together. You're still tied up, but not gagged. They got questioned by the law in town and got kicked out really fast because they were holding someone against their will, which was you. They didn't have a bounty for you. So they're basically just deported really quickly and had to pay. They paid your fare already, so your fare is covered by them. But you're on this ship, a private ship that is taking you guys to Southport. You are able to speak if you like. You guys are all together in a very small... It's a very small ship. A private ship heading north. You guys have, what I say, like 3 weeks of travel time to cover whatever you want to wish. But it's just the 5 of you there. It's just the 5 of you, no one else. So if you guys have any grievances you'd like to air or anything else you want to do for the next...
We all said what we had to say, really. I mean, we just want to keep... That's all I'm saying.
All right, so you spend the next 3 weeks on the boat. It's like silently staring at each other, like with cold, dead eyes.
We play snaps.
All right, you play snaps. All right, that's better. You guys play some games and become friendly.
Guarding fleet, correct?
Yep.
With
Frodrick don't got a sleep none.
Yeah, Frodrick's a zombie.
Night out guarding fleet just to make sure nothing shifty's going on.
Yeah, nothing shifty goes on, apparently.
Swifty on this
No one's getting swifty. We get it.
Whether you get swifty or whether you don't, come sail away with me and all your favorite heroes and villains next time on Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater.